Hey guys, this is the second of my instructional videos. This video is going to go over the Kahoot platform, which is an interactive and fun classroom game that you can use to go over multiple choice questions, and there's some other games that are involved in the game that we can go over as we get logged in here. So for those of you who've never used Kahoot before, the sign up is in the top right corner. You can sign up as teacher or student at work, so I'm not going to go over that because you should be able to figure that out. So I'll go ahead and get logged in, and you'll be able to see some of the things that I've created and how we can navigate through the platform here. So there's some videos and support links here that you can go to explore more about the program, but for what I use it for is mostly for the quizzes. But what I'll go ahead and I'll go and start to do is just up here there's a Find Kahoots link, so I'll click on that, and what you can do here is you can search for a specific topic. So if you wanted to search on something to see if someone had made a Kahoot about a certain science topic, say storms, we can see if anything comes up with that. So there's some here. The thing about that is anyone can kind of create these, so you can get some kind of poor quality Kahoots. So you definitely want to make sure that you look at them ahead of time before you play any of these or use any of these in your classroom. And you can really do it on anything. I'll just type in basketball logos and see what comes up here. Here's a 30-question Kahoot. Where we could push play and you can play this Kahoot. So we'll go ahead and I'll show you how to create a Kahoot first. Up here in the top left corner there's a button that says New Kahoot, so we'll click on that, and we can choose to make a quiz, a jumble, a discussion, or a survey. Like I said, I kind of just used the quiz so far, but jumble I believe is a game where you can kind of scramble things up and have students put things in order. Discussion obviously is to get students interested in a certain topic, and survey we can kind of ask questions and get student responses to that. So I'll click on the quiz button here, and what we need to do first is come up with a title. So I'm just going to say that I'm going to make a reading quiz on because of Winn-Dixie. It's a novel we read in 4th grade. So I'll call this Quiz 1. In the description here, I'll add what it is. But what they want you to do is put a hashtag in front of certain words, so that later when people want to search, like we already have, search for certain topics. If you want to share yours, you can have yours come up with the hashtags. So I'm going to just type in because of Winn-Dixie Quiz 1. Visible to everyone, English, and I'm going to select school in this drop down box here. We could add images if we wanted to just kind of make it a little bit easier to find our Kahoots. Once we have quite a few of them, we could add a picture to it. You could also add a video to it, a link to a video if you wanted to. So I'm just going to go ahead and click OK here, and I'm in the spot where I can start adding questions to my Kahoot. So I'll go ahead and type in my first question. We'll make it simple here. What was the setting of the story? I can change the time here. I can make it 5, 10, 20, 2 minutes if I wanted to. Students usually, the whole point of the Kahoot is to answer it as quick as possible. So if you have some students who answer it in 3 seconds, you don't want to give a longer response time, because then those students tend to get off track, and then you kind of have a classroom management issue. So I like to keep mine at 20 seconds. You can decide if you want to award points or not. Again, you can add media to your question if you wanted to, pictures and videos. And then you need to come down and give at least 2 options for answers here. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in 4 answers here: Florida, York, Kansas, and Illinois. And so I also need to go through and select a correct answer. So and for this particular question, Florida was the correct answer. So I'm going to select that here and click Next. And I have my first question. so then I can add as many questions as I want, continually go through that to finish out my Kahoot. So I'm going to exit this out so that we can go and actually do a Kahoot here. This is going to take me back to the screen here. I'll go to my Kahoots. I used this last year a lot. You can see for my science, I used it for reviewing my science chapters. My students absolutely loved it. Every time we finished a chapter, they were always coming up to my desk asking me if we were going to Kahoot. So they were pretty disappointed when I didn't actually use it for all of them. So we'll just go ahead and click on Unit D Chapter 2 Test Review. I'll click play here. And what I'll do then is I'll have this up on my whiteboard so all my students can see this. Depending on what you have in your classroom, if you have a device for everyone, you can do the player versus player one-to-one devices here, or you can pair students up. So what I did is I only had 14 students, so I usually put students in 2 or 3 per device. So they did team mode. And really the only difference in the two styles here is that when you go to team mode, you choose a team nickname and then you enter all the team members' names. Whereas with player to player, you just enter just your name. That's really the only difference that I've noticed with it. So there's different options to your game down here. You can enable certain things here. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is, because that's usually the way I play it. So I'll just go ahead and click on one-to-one here, and the screen will come up, and what they're going to have you do is get your devices ready, and then there's going to be a game pin number. And what you'll need to do, turn this down here for a second, what you'll need to do then is have the students go to kahoot.it on their web browser box, and then they'll need to enter that box in here. So I'm going to go back. So it was 993309. So a lot of 3s and 9s there, going to be tough to remember. 993309. So this would be the student screen. It's going to ask for your nickname, so I'll just say Mr. B here. And what it will do is it's going to say, okay, you're in, you should see your nickname on the screen. So if I go back to the screen here, the teacher screen, this is what's on the boards for all the students to see. And you can see that Mr. Blakely or Mr. B is up on here. And then depending on how many students you would have, you'd see all their names up on the board here. Okay. So since I'm the only one playing, I'll go ahead and click Start. Okay, so there's 25 questions to this quiz. So this is what would be on the whiteboard for all the students to see. In the meantime, the students just have question 1 ready, set, go, and then they have these options to choose from. On the teacher's screen, the board, it says what is a device that opens or closes an electric circuit. So they have 4 choices to choose from. Okay, so switch is the correct answer here, so I need to go to the student screen and click on the button here. Now depending on how fast they answered, they'll receive more points the quicker it is. So there is a time aspect in the game to it as well. So what it'll have up here, well, okay, here it is. It's going to show me what students answered and what was the correct answer. So this is a screen that really shows me how my students are doing. Certain questions, if half the class gets the question wrong, then I know this is something I need to explain more. If I see that everybody got the answer correct, then I can kind of move on to the next question and go on. So I'll go ahead and click Next here, and it'll give an update on the score, and then it'll go to my next question here. So materials that allow electricity to pass through them most easily are called, and then during that time that it's up there, students have that time to collaborate and talk, and they can talk about which answer they want to pick here. So we have conductors, switches, insulators, currents. Conductors is our answer, so if I go to the student page, I want to make sure I click on the red triangle here, get a correct answer, and add more points to my score. So when I go back to the teacher screen here, it's going to show me what answers were correct and chosen. I can go on, and then it's going to give an updated score. So this is something that the students just absolutely enjoy. They get a kick out of it. They want to use it all the time. I found it to be very useful when it comes to reviewing. But I would like to get more into the discussion part of Kahoot or the survey, just to kind of get a little bit more in-depth use of the program. Kahoot meets the ISTE standards T.2.A because of its engaging content to promote student learning, and it also meets standard 2.2 to T.2.c with the use of digital tools to customize learning activities for diverse learning styles. So that's Kahoot. I hope you enjoyed it. If you plan on using it, expect for a fun time